To the program, our sign language interpreter for this hour will be Walter Asewe, and we take you straight to the courts where the Cohen case is still ongoing. Earlier on during the previous hour and still even right now, we've got a lawyer representing Sarah Cohen, that is Philip Murgor, making his argument on the floor of the court, and we shall be getting there in just a short while. Remember that this case is ongoing for the better part of today. It has been for the better part of this month of September. So let's just listen in to what is currently happening in court.
And then we discuss or we argue the bail application. All those other matters can be dealt with as soon as the court so directs. Thank you.
Yes, my lady, definitely. My lady, we need to differentiate between the evidence allegedly, the evidence in this murder trial and issues of succession. What my senior learned friend has attempted to allude to contempt by either the DCI or Mr. J.V. Owiti are issues in regard to succession. And the issues of succession will be dealt with in a separate court, and there was no gag order in regard to the issues of succession. So we need to differentiate that. My lady, I did indicate that we are willing to provide the said recording, and we can file a formal application with affidavits, even for witnesses who were present, who heard what the accused said, and the defense counsels. My lady, and I needed to bring this to the court's attention before plea is taken, because if the court finds both the accused and the defense in contempt of the court, the court can proceed to sentence, and thereafter the defense counsels will not even be in a position to represent the accused persons. So I am praying that we be given an opportunity to put in our formal application and all the evidence, and the recording is also in public domain. And my lady, in regard to the issues raised by Mr. Cliff, I have seen the Gazette note. We are praying that we be allowed to file a formal application with affidavits on the issues of contempt. Yes, on the issues of contempt, and even affidavits from persons who are also present at the scene. Yes. Because what is in contention here is the order dated 16th of September 2019. In regard to Mr. Murgor's representation, I have seen the special gazettement on his appointment. I am requesting for time to confirm whether the said was revoked or any other instructions in regard to this matter. The said gazette notice was revoked.
The gazette notice?
Yes, the gazette notice appointing him as a public prosecutor, whether the same was revoked. So I'm requesting time to confirm the same, and the same shall be done also in the course of filing a formal application in regard to the issues of contempt of court. And my lady, as I see it, I'll also be praying that this court does confirm or request all parties again to comply with
That is what is happening in court today. Several matters before Chief Magistrate Estella, I beg your pardon, Mutuku. Among them is one, whether or not Sarah Cohen will be released on bail, and the second is to make the content of the will read by counsel Shege Kirundi to be read again before the court. However, lawyer representing the family, that is Cliff Ombeta, has raised an issue that will require interpretation of the court because pursuant to the Director of Public Prosecution's Act in January this year, Philip Murgor was appointed as one of public prosecutors among two others, that is former Mayor Taib Ali Taib as well as lawyer James Kihara. So how will this issue pan out to be moving forward? Let's go back to the court and listen in further to the quality of argument that is being made by counsel in as far as this case is concerned.
So we are praying that the plea be deferred until the issues of contempt and representation are dealt with, and in the same time we are given time to have our witnesses under protection who are key and vital to prove compelling reasons as to why should not be released on bail or bond. That is all.
Senior Counsel on the 7th of March 2019 as he is resigning as a public prosecutor.
Perhaps I should tell my learned friend I am not yet a senior counsel, but I'm senior.
You can see
senior to him.
You can see me today is good.
Thank you.
I'm wishing you well. The question would be then, is this letter by itself conclusive that is no longer a prosecutor? Can a letter for resignation revoke a gazette notice? When counsel says that waiting for this revocation would make him to be a slave, with due respect, I think that is it's mischievous and does not have any tenability in law. And that position has got a remedy. If Mr. Haji, the DPP, has refused to de-gazette him or has not done so, then these courts have a judicial revision section. He can walk there and go for mandamus. If that still is the position, he then feels aggrieved, and he is aggrieved at this particular moment, then he needs to go to the JR division. But still, that question of who he is in this court today, apart from being a defense counsel, counsel in this matter, we know him as a public prosecutor. That one out there again is an issue. And it is important because why? In a murder trial, representation is everything. It is everything. So let us not take it lightly, like he is doing. Let him not see it's a sideshow. Because this is a key issue. We don't want to remain with egg on our face. This is a preliminary issue that must be decided and canvassed, so that none of us is embarrassed at the end of the day. Not him, not any of us. This position must be clarified before he even takes plea for the client. Because if the client takes plea at this particular moment without this issue, then is she represented? Then I'm doing now going against the law. It's a serious issue. You cannot.
I think I will leave your leadership Yes. No, I'm not responding to Mr. Obeta. I'm responding to Ms. Moniki. She has made a new application.
Has she raised anything new?
Yes, she has made a new application.
Yes.
She has now conceded that she will file a contempt application.
It's not a new application, my lady. It's what he requested of us, and we are confirming that we will then file a formal application. So that is not a new application. I think he needs to be very clear.
Leadership, if I may explain.
I'll give you a leave, Mr. Murgor. But just confirm, let's not go back on the issues
not going back
we
on the
talked about. Be brief on what you think has been brought in as a new issue.
Leadership, thank you. Ms. Moniki started by saying they have committed contempt, sentence them for contempt. Right away, without defending themselves or anything. Just find it as a matter of fact. Now she has accepted that she will file a formal application. So effectively, she has abandoned the oral application. That is gracious on her part. On the part of whether or not I am a public prosecutor, she has stated in no uncertain terms that she needs to seek some instructions on that matter. And I think the final position on whether or not I am will come from Nurdin Haji, and we'll expect his affidavit in that regard. So what Ombete is asking, they are good questions because he's in the dark. But it is a matter that will come from the DPP's office. So what am I saying? Even that now should come in the form of a formal application, and we shall respond.
My lady, just to clarify, you just said I need to confirm whether he has been revoked, whether the Gazette notice has been revoked. Those are the only instructions I need. The DPP will not file any affidavit. It is I to go and seek or to find out whether there has been a revocation of that Gazette notice.
So how she does it, I will leave it to her. I will wish to, I know Mr. Haji does not like coming to court, so we'll leave it to her.
My lady, with all due respect to Mr. Murgor, he has, he has adversely mentioned, yes, my lady, protect the officers, he has adversely mentioned the DCI's name, he's not going to the DPP. Yes, thank you. Thank you.
So, the final part, which is most important, her position has now mutated and she has made a new application. A new application to which I am now responding is that can the plea be deferred? She was now explaining why she hasn't done her affidavit, witness protection and all these other things. So she's saying, can the plea be deferred to enable her to do all that? So I want
no,
to...
my lady, Mr. Murgor is not getting to a point that I will need the court's intervention. I say that the plea be deferred for us to ensure representation and contempt, that those two issues are dealt with. And please, my lady, I'm praying that Mr. Murgor, being an officer of this court, does respect everyone in this court and the proceedings of this court, and he needs to be truthful.
You understood where she's coming from?
I don't take orders from her, but I was saying...
That is true, but
yes.
You understood where she's coming from?
If she hears my next, what I want to tell the court, she will understand what I'm saying. I am saying it started out with contempt, then it became capacity, and then in her reply, she now said, we're going to do all that, but now do not take the plea. That is the part I believe I have a right to reply to.
No.
Which is why...
You know, the standard from where I sit,
yes.
there are times when we are called upon to really have that content, because the nature of where you are standing and where she is, that heated.
There's no heat,
yeah.
On my side at least.
Let me tell you how I understand her.
Yes.
Okay? I'm requesting you to understand her. I'm understanding her to say the request for deferment of the plea taking is for her to confirm your position, whether as a public prosecutor and whether you can bring I think that's
yes.
Just that bit.
That bit is the one I want to reply to. Yes. Because it wasn't put out in front. In the front, she said content and capacity. So I am now responding to the issue whether plea can be deferred in order for her to file her applications. I would like to point out that the record will show that the accused has been in custody 30 days from the date she was arrested.
Just supposed to be talking about representation.
I'm not asking for bail.
Those are new issues that she's been in custody for those days. We'll need to respond to that. The question is he rightful in court as a defense counsel? Can he represent her? Does he have audience? And that's what we are saying. Can this issue first be given time to address this issue? That's all he needs to respond to. And without him giving us any proof for us to, so that we may not seek more time and deal with this issue right now, it's in the best interest that all of us be given time to respond to that. He be given time to bring evidence.
Your Ladyship.
You see, because of trying to answer that, yes, I'm not going to respect.
Please, if I may just...
Temptation is too big for you.
Not too big. If you will just hear my argument. I'm not applying for bail in that sense, which is what she thinks I'm doing. This case is not about me, and it is certainly not about her. It is about this lady here. It is her whose rights we are talking about. So, I am saying, she has already been in custody for 30 days. And I'm now coming to the issue of, if they want to have those other matters dealt with before, they should be mindful of the fact that she has been denied her liberty. Initially, for mental assessment, which is not her problem, it is the problem of the state. Then, by reason of the fact that it was the vacation and so on and so forth. So I am now coming to the fact that should they wish to have those other matters canvassed, first, I ask the courts to ask them to file their contempt application in the next 2 hours, and so that we come back at 2:30 to deal with those issues, so that the matter of the constitutional rights of this lady here are dealt with as soon as possible. I am not the only advocate in Kenya. I have been in these proceedings several times without any objection from my sister, Ms. Waniki, my learned sister, not my prosecution sister. My learned sister, as advocates I refer to her now. I am saying, we have been here, no one has objected, and I'm just saying, let's not forget we are here because of the accused. So if we can deal with those applications within the, they can file the application this morning, we'll respond in the afternoon. I'm ready because my facts are clear, and we can deal with them as soon as possible. It is the accused that we are here for. It is her who needs to take her plea. It is her who needs her application dealt with. I may also say one more thing. After 30 days, issues of witness protection should have been dealt with. If at all there are such witnesses. We have never seen them.
Ms. Waniki, if this court were to give you time to look into the issues you're saying, issues of representation, not issues of filing, so that we understand, how long will that take?
We would have,
because I understood it to mean you need to confirm Mr. Murgor's position.
yes.
And for that meaning, you want to check whether the letter, taking your issue together with Mr. Letter's issue, whether what is being representing or the letter of resignation.
My lady, yes.
How long, if I were to allow you, how long would that take?
My lady, because we also need, and what is more important, even the burden also shifts to him to show whether he's been degazetted. We will need about next week. We come back next week to confirm. Today is Thursday. My lady, to confirm, because we need to confirm whether he's been degazetted. And if he's not been degazetted, my lady,
yes,
someone else can stand in for him. He doesn't need to appear on behalf of the accused person.
so that you see the report.
So the issue before High Court Judge, that is Justice Stella Mutuku, is to determine the suitability of Philip Murgor to continue representing the defense, courtesy of a Gazette notice that was published on January this year that appointed Philip Murgor, former Mayor Taib Ali Taib, and lawyer James Kihara as public prosecutors. Then this tenure goes on for the next 2 years. So what will the court say? How will they pronounce themselves in as far as this matter is concerned? Well, we'll keep interacting with the events at the High Court and ensure that you're properly briefed on what will be happening from that end. Right now, it's time to take a break. We return with much more in just a moment.